Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees. This video is meant for my family, friends, colleagues, contacts, and also for the pleasure of all my devotee friends, if at all they watch this video. So this is the third part of the Ram Katha as given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, chapters 10 and 11. So we would be reading verses 8 to 14 today. But even before we begin this, yesterday we spoke two things. One was the defects, that why are we not able to understand things in a proper perspective, and why is it that all our research may not be perfect, even though we may claim that we are progressing, we are doing so much of research. Why is it that it cannot have the accuracy that we expect? And the second thing is, I use the term Shudra. So does Vedic literature propagate casteism? So first we will discuss these 2 points, and then we will move on to the verses and the third story that is given in the prologue of Valmiki Ramayana. And after that, we will start with the Balkand, the Ayodhya Kand, the Aranya Kand, and the rest of the Kands that are given in Ramayana. So, what are the defects? Why is it that we are not perfect and we cannot be, no matter how hard we try to be perfect in our knowledge systems? Now, there are 4 defects that Vedic literatures tell us that we suffer from. The first defect is tendency to cheat or lie. All of us either cheat or lie in our lives. May not be all the time, maybe once, twice, for various reasons. It may be a small lie or a big lie, that doesn't matter, but a lie is a lie. Then tendency to be illusioned. Illusion, it's like 2 rails, and while they are going, and at a distance we see that they are merging, whereas they don't. Or mirage, it's also an illusion. So these are some of the examples that tell that how we can be illusioned. And the biggest illusion is that we have fallen for Maya, which is why we are here in the material world. Anything that looks attractive, we fall for it, and that we call as Maya. We think that that is real, whereas it is not real. See, on the face of it, it's real, but it's temporary. And that is what we say Maya, that doesn't last forever. So it attracts us, and then after some time it just goes away. That is Maya. So we are bound in it, and then one fine morning we see that it's all gone. This is Maya. So similarly, all the riches that we see around, all the show that we see around of different things, maybe of body, body, or of mind also, for that matter, all this we say it's Maya, unless we have the right understanding of what is real and permanent. And then we have tendency to make mistakes. All of us, whether we like it or not, for consciously or subconsciously, we have the tendency to make mistakes. And then the last is, we suffer with imperfect senses, and which is why we say that we don't have to do research. And Vaishnavas, especially from ISKCON, we say that there is no need to spend so much on research. Everything is given in the literature. You read this and then you do your research. You will be more towards perfection. You will still not be perfect, but still you will be more towards perfection. So what is it? How do we suffer with imperfect senses? that we cannot hear beyond a point, we cannot see beyond a point, we cannot taste everything that is there. These are imperfect senses. So do we really think that if we are not able to see everything or beyond a distance, we can know everything? No, not at all. Which is why I keep giving this example that when we were in school, we were taught that there are 9 planets, and then somebody recently told me that the students these days are taught that there are only 8 planets, and then after some time somebody told me no, there are 10 planets. So all this happens because even though we have great scientists, with all due respects to the scientific research and the publications that are coming in the market, all this is happening, there is no standard knowledge that we are giving to people. Every time we change words, which is why if you see even the laws of atomic theory or the atomic theory, there are various views that have been given as far as atomic theory is concerned. So there is no standard rule or theory. One scientist comes in his or her generation and says, okay, this was the theory. Then the next generation of scientists come up and they say, no, that is redundant. This is what we have found out and this is true. Then the next generation of scientists come up and then they say, no, those were the previous generation scientists and they didn't have so much of technology. So what we are saying is the correct thing. So every generation down the line, as we progress, changes the scientific view, which is why we cannot say that the scientific research, that the funds that we are putting in the so-called scientific research today are going to yield permanent results. There is nothing as permanency as far as this material world is concerned, and because we suffer with all these 4 defects as described in the Vedic literature, our knowledge cannot be perfect, which is why we have to rely on somebody who knows the whole system. And who has the whole knowledge? The Lord has the whole knowledge. But again, since we are imperfect, since we are contaminated, we cannot even see the Lord, we cannot even dial his number properly, we cannot even communicate with him properly. But because of the mercy of the gurus, the acharyas, we are at least we have the access to this Vedic literature that the gurus and the Vaishnava acharyas have given to us, which is perfect from every angle. Because it comes in the parampara, it is not written or composed on the whim and fancy of somebody who is meditating on the Himalayas and says this happens, that happens. Even that we say is imperfect. This is coming in the line of parampara. Narad Muni has given it to Brahmaji, Brahmaji has given it to the other great personalities, and then down the line of acharyas to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada has made all this literature with great painstaking efforts. He has written down all these things, and which all of us who really want to convince themselves as to what we are doing is right or wrong must read this literature. It is full with material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. And the second question is casteism. That does Bhagavad Gita promote casteism, or does Srimad Bhagavatam promote casteism? No, not at all, not till far distance. Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashah, based on guna and karma. We say that the human community, for its better management, should be divided. Just like we run an organization, not everyone is at the same level. Not everyone is the same at the same level, and unfortunately it is the educated class that says that Bhagavad Gita promotes casteism. No, not at all. Bhagavad Gita doesn't promote casteism. Just like you manage your company, you say that okay, the highly intellectual people will run the administration, will be the CEO or the chief finance CFOs or whoever, or CMOs, whatever tag you want to give those people. and then there is the managerial class, and then there is the worker class, and then there are classes below that who take care of the usual chores. So do you think that it is casteism? Don't you think that you are also creating barriers in the society, in an organization itself? And today, even today, the so-called higher class members of the higher class society don't want to mingle with the middle class. The middle class doesn't want to mingle with the so-called lower class of society. Are you not promoting casteism? Are you not promoting classism in the society? You are. In fact, the Vedic literatures say that all human beings, when perceived from a higher perspective, are the same in the eyes of the Lord. And each and every soul, despite, no matter how much disqualified a person may be materially, is definitely has the right to have access to this knowledge of Lord, this knowledge of soul and the connection of soul with the Supreme Being. It doesn't disqualify anyone who has the desire to know God. So what is it that Bhagavad Gita is talking about while it says Chaturvarnyam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha? Based on the mentality, based on the intelligence of a person, the classes are there. Brahmana, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya and Shudra. So people who are intelligent, people who can understand, people who can read, people who can preach are said to be Brahmanas. People who are very chivalrous, who are not scared of anything, who have the capacity to administer, people who have the capacity to put everything in an organized way are said to be Kshatriyas, fall in the order of Kshatriyas. And then we have the Vaishyas who can take care of villages, who can take care of the cows, who can take care of the farms. They are the Vaishyas. Shudras are those who for some karmic reason don't have that much of intelligence and are not able to either preach or protect or take care of villages. They can do some menial jobs. That happens even today. Do you think that today's society doesn't promote casteism? So equality, and which is why we just discard communism. Vaishnavism doesn't believe in communism, though we live in Vaishnava community. Living in a Vaishnava community is different from the idea of communism, that all should be equal. No. From time immemorial, inequality has existed in the world. It's part of the dealings of this material world. So please try to understand with a very, very broad mind. It's not a narrow-minded approach. And Vedic literature qualifies every soul to do Harinam Kirtan. Will you allow everyone in your organization? No, you will not. You will first see the qualification and then you will allow. But the Lord is so merciful. He doesn't see whether the person is qualified or not. He just showers His mercy. It is we who disqualify ourselves and don't see that the Lord is showering His mercy on us and we are not ready to take it. It is our problem, not the Lord's problem or the Acharya's problem. So it's like that. So moving on to the Ram Katha. So I'll be reading out, I think, the translation, because if I read out the Sanskrit verses, it's too long and sometimes I'm not able to pronounce also properly. When I'm alone, I pronounce it properly, but with the camera in front, I'm not very camera friendly. I do take videos, selfies, but I'm not very comfortable in front of camera. So I do make mistakes while reading out. So what I'll do is I'll read the translation and then discuss some points. So carrying out the order of his father, who was bound by a promise to his wife, Lord Ramchandra left behind his kingdom, opulence, friends, well-wishers, residents and everything else, just as a liberated soul gives us his life, and went to the forest with Sita. So this is the quality of a Rajarishi. In the previous two videos, we had discussed who Raj Rishis are, what is the philosophy of being a Raj Rishi. Raja outwardly having all the opulences, whatever is required for ruling a kingdom, but inside Rishis, that I know that outwardly I'm given, this is a benediction by the Lord, and so though I have all these things, still all this opulence actually belongs to the Lord. The Lord is the proprietor of all these things, and I am just a soul, and when I have to leave this body, I'm not going to take all these riches with me. And so when I have to die, I know that I have only this much time, and I focus on the Lord's feet, and I just leave this body and the world without even thinking of the riches. Yudhishthir Maharaj in Mahabharata was a great Rajrishi. So similarly, Lord Rama, since even though he is the Lord, he has come in the human form to tell us how a human being, how a Raja as a human being should be. So when he was asked to leave, he just left. Okay, fine, if I have to leave. And then in the upcoming verses, you will see that how he instructs all his associates who were going with him, including the charioteer. He says that okay, because all the people of Ayodhya are blindly love us, so we should just immediately start our journey. Throughout the day we will start off, otherwise if they see us, they cannot control themselves, and as I said, we will be leading lives of hermits. So a prince who is not at all scared of leading a life that has so much of trouble in the path, 14 years is a long time. So today we are struck with coronavirus and everyone is so scared. अरे कोरोना आ जाएगा, हमको मार देगा. अरे कोरोना आएगा, मारेगा, तब की तब देखेंगे. बट अभी तो आप फोकस करो, अभी तो आप अपने दिमाग को ट्रेन कर सकते हो कि ठीक है, ओके, वी मे डाई एनी टाइम. दिस इज द सिचुएशन. एक्चुअली दिस इज आवर सिचुएशन दैट वी मे डाई एनी टाइम, or we may be infected anytime, we may be afflicted by a disease anytime. So why not train ourselves that okay, if we have to die, we will die. So what to do during those moments? Should we just sit and cry and make selfies that oh my god, corona has hit me, so I am dying, see how I am dying? No, that should not be our agenda. If we know that okay, corona can hit us anytime, and if we are about to die, our first thing should be to train our mind. Take some religious scripture. If you are following Christianity, take your Bible and sit down. If you are a Muslim, take your Quran and sit down and try to focus your mind on the Lord. That will be the best thing. Maybe the Lord will protect you. We cannot protect you. The doctors cannot protect you. The nurses cannot protect you. Maybe all the antiviruses may not be able to protect you, but the Lord has the capacity. He can protect you if that is your material desire. So that is the best thing we all should do. I believe that do Sankit, and I'm sure all the devotees say the same thing. I'm with the devotees, and the devotees say that okay, fine, if this is the condition, very well, it's a great condition to be in. We don't see it as as a suffering, we see it as a blessing. That is the prayer of Kunti Maharani, that okay, give us more trouble so that we focus on you more and more, dear Krishna. So this is the best time to pray to the Lord and train ourselves, train our minds to how to focus and how to just leave what is unnecessary. If you have to fast, please fast. If you don't want to go out, please don't go out. Doesn't matter. Eat fruits. Eat some soups, make some vegetable soup, something like that. We can survive. It's not such a great deal. Or survive on water if nothing is available. So while wandering in the forest, where he accepted a life of hardship, carrying his invincible bow and arrows in his hand, Lord Ramchandra deformed Ravana's sister, who was polluted with lusty desires, but by cutting off her nose and ears. He also killed her 14,000 Rakshasa friends, headed by Khara, Trishira and Dushana. So many people say that the literature should be all loving and everything, but look at Bhagavad Gita, look at Mahabharata, look at even Ramayana, everything is fighting. Lord has got all these qualities. Lord has got love, Lord has got chivalry, Lord has got everything. And because Lord has got all these things, all these qualities, that is why we have all these qualities, all our qualities, be it beauty, be it power, be it wisdom, be it fame. All of our qualities are coming because it is present in the Lord. We also fight. Where do you think is our fighting spirit coming from? It is coming from the Lord. But the only difference is ours is material. Everything that the Lord does is spiritual in nature. So it is saying lusty. So here obviously lusty desire is the desire for attraction towards the opposite gender. So because it was an illicit desire towards Ramji, and since in the form of Lord Ramchandra, he said that I will be just ek patni vrat, I will have only one wife, though Kshatriyas were allowed to marry more than once. So he had to do something to cut off Shurpanka's nose and ears, and he had to kill her demoniac brothers too. So let's understand this word lust. What is lust in a very, very deeper sense in Vedic literature? Lust means any desire, any material desire devoid of the Lord is lust. It is not only just a skin disease or an attraction towards the opposite gender, not that. Any material desire devoid of the Lord is defined as lust. So Surpanka, because she didn't have any attraction for the Lord, she just looked at the outward beauty of the Lord and she got attracted, and which is why the Lord had to say, just look at just the opposite. So when the Lord was residing in the Dandakaranya forest, the rishis who were meditating and who were giving all kinds of sevas to the Lord, one day they got attracted to the Lord so much. Oh my God, he looked so handsome and so beautiful. And a thought aroused in their minds that, oh my God, being men, we are so attracted to the Lord. What would happen to the women, or how would they feel if they get attracted to the beauty of the Lord? So they had that desire that how if we enjoy with the Lord in the form of women. And Lord Ramchandra read their thought and he said that, okay, fine, I have read your thoughts, and in this particular Avatara incarnation of Ramchandra, I cannot grant your wish. But when I would come as myself in 100% potency as Krishna in Dwapar Yuga, I can grant your wish. So these great sages of the Dandakaranya forest, who were offering their oblations, who were offering their obeisances, who were offering all their devotion to Lord Ramchandra, took rebirth in Dwapar Yuga along with the Lord as the gopis, which is why we say